we don't know if we want to take a risk on it, as well as it's value-based. And so, getting it out into every home requires distribution. It requires more episodes. And,
we're going to pray for you.
Yes, sir.
We're going to pray that God will guide and bless you and open the door so you can get this into as many homes of these children across this country. Because, tell us a little bit about what a lot of parents don't know when their children are watching cartoons. What are they getting when they're watching cartoons?
The reality of that is, they're watching cartoon characters. And I don't think we stop to realize that all of the work that we spend doing with our children, we teach them how to do right, we're trying to develop good character, and we're molding them. But at a half an hour with a yellow sponge that isn't really saying much can erase a lifetime of work that we place in our children. In our world today, some words have double meanings. I don't know if I could take a moment on this. Some words have double meaning. The word destiny has a double meaning. There's the divine will of God, and then there's the plan of the enemy. And some people are using the word destiny, and young folks may hear the preacher talk about destiny, but he's talking about the divine will of God. And so they start saying, I want to live the destiny that is for my life. And they watch characters on television, actors and actresses, and they start forging their characters, their personalities along those lines. But what they don't realize is that those characters are not portraying the will of God for their life. They must go to God and ask God, what is your will for my life? And so what ends up happening is, destiny in the world sense are three mythological goddesses. We don't realize that. And those three mythological goddesses, they don't exist, but they're told to control the fate of man, and even God is relegated to their decision for your life.
My God.
So that's the world's view of destiny, and a lot of young people are embracing that. Children are embracing that. And so what happens is, because she doesn't exist, this trio of Greek goddesses doesn't exist, what you're really following is somebody who's really nobody, who wants to take you somewhere that's really nowhere, and they want to give you something that's really nothing. And our children, our poor children, we go to them now and say, hey, what are you doing? They say, nothing. You start wondering what path, what characters are they following. And if we would develop good character in our children, it will give them the strength to make good decisions. If we develop good character in our children, it will give them the ability, the strength to resist evil. If we develop character in our children, we will give them the strength to face adversity. And that's what this product is all about.
Fantastic, fantastic. Fantastic. You make an extremely important point, and that is, as fast as we make deposits of common sense and virtue and values, there's a degenerate culture out there that's making withdrawals, sometimes faster than we're making deposits. And you mentioned to me that these cartoons are teaching kids things that a lot of parents don't even realize is being taught to them, like how to
kiss.
Tell about that.
My daughter, she loves Nickelodeon and Disney, and we censor what she watches. And recently we agreed for her to watch this show. It started out, simple enough, but the last episode, I like to sit and watch, so I know what's going on. And the last episode was an hour-long special, and they'd never done anything like this before. And at the very end of the special, the younger characters in this cartoon characters, their older siblings, one of the siblings and a friend were trying to decide whether they were boyfriend or girlfriend. And so the whole beeline was trying to decide this. And if you call me your boyfriend or your girlfriend, then that means that we're in this relationship. And at the very end, they kissed. And I was in total shock. And my daughter, knowing what I believe and knowing what I'm teaching her, she looked and said, Daddy, we're not going to be watching this anymore, are we? It's amazing, and it's a billion-dollar industry. The most popular, I don't say the name, I just say it's a yellow sponge. $6 billion in revenue since it began in the early 2000s. There's an explorer, a young lady that's an explorer, $5 billion in revenue. All kinds of products. Our children sleep in the pajamas, wear the underwear, and the babies wear the Pampers, and the sneakers that light up, and the bed sheets, and the DVD player has them on the cover, and the TV around the wrapping has that, and we realize that because our children, developing character in our children, is one of the highest callings You know, we ought to invest in them as Christians. And so we need more of this. I'm placing that same challenge that Phil Vischer so kindly placed to me. And matter of fact, when we began to, when we were completing this, I emailed Phil Vischer and told him. And we ended up in a booth across from each other at the CBA convention. And but he had emailed me prior to that and encouraged me and told me that his greatest desire is to see more successes like this. And so we're just excited and looking forward to developing more for our children.
I just pray God will take the fruit troop.
Yes, sir.
And bless this to the children in every home in this country that where their parents want to guide them and give them good character, they will use this incredible tool. What's your dream for Fruit Troop?
My dream for the Fruit Troop truly is for it to not only be a brand that entertains children, but a brand that builds them up instead of tearing them down, a brand that gives to them, that adds something to their life rather than detracts from their life. We have an epidemic of low EQs these days.
Low EQ.
I wish I had time to explain.
Not low
that.
IQ.
Not low IQ, but low EQ.
What is low EQ?
A low EQ is a low emotional quotient. That means that we don't have to, that our children are not learning how to persevere and wait for things in life. And I believe if Adam and Eve would have just waited at the tree instead of eating from the tree, that God would have explained all of the wonders of his universe to them, but they were impatient. And so that same seed has been sown in our children all the way down to these last days. So they want everything now. And we need instruments and tools, and we as parents need to wake up and spend the time investing in our children's character so that we can build characters for the kingdom.
Praise his holy name. Praise his holy name. That's good. Now, you're pastoring, and you pastor a church that I know well.
Yes, I'm pastoring with you.
That's right. And the church that you're pastoring, you're ministering to people in all different kinds of experiences. How has that been for you?
It's been a wonderful experience. You know, I first would have to say that, you know, you've often asked who my heroes are. You pick my brain quite a bit, and I'm always on my P's and Q's when talking to you. You know, pastoring in a unique environment like we pastor in, it requires us to realize that people are in different stages of life. And some people who may be in their 70s or 80s or 90s may still be stuck in their 20s or their teenage years because of arrested development, because of something that happened in their life as a child. And so working in that environment, you realize that the topic of forgiveness and forgetting becomes the main thing, that people need to embrace the Lord, embrace what he has for them in his will, and be able to move forward in their lives. So
and your ministry is going to continue to flourish. It's going to continue to blossom. God is going to take this. Trust me, God is going to take this. And there's somebody out there who the Lord is going to speak to, that Fruit Troop. He wants to use it to reach children. And they may be able to pick up a phone, and God will do miracles. You know, he's done some miracles in your life. Tell me about a miracle God's done in your life.
If I could tell a miracle in regards to the project.
Sure.
We went to MegaFest. And we
Bishop Jakes.
Bishop T.D. Jakes. And we ordered 20,000 DVDs to sell there.
Wow.
But due to some unforeseen circumstances where our booth was located and several other things that happened, some of the DVDs not getting there, we ended up shipping many of those back home. They were in my living room in California.
My God, 20,000.
20,000.
Woo!
They were in the garage. They were in the bedroom. They were in the kitchen. And my wife was beside herself, saying, we need to get these, you know, that nice little hint, we need to get these out of here. And I began to pray. And I said, Lord, I need a miracle from you, because you placed this seed in my heart. You gave me the focus. You gave me the lion heart and the cheetah focus to accomplish this. I couldn't have done this without you. And you know, in short order, an email followed by a phone call from someone, and all of the DVDs were purchased at one time. A truck showed up in my little suburban neighborhood, picked up all the DVDs, and it went on out. It went on out to the world.
Praise God.
And that was just the beginning of wonderful things.
Fantastic. Well, you are going to be blessed. There's no doubt about it. Just hold on. Just keep your face before him. Keep your hand in the hand of God, and he's going to bless you. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you for having me.
It's awesome. Great to have you.
Thank you, sir.
Praise God. Please welcome back Micah Stampley as he sings, I Believe.